Well, joining us now with a closer look at China's economy ahead of the Lunar New Year is John Gong in Beijing. He's a professor of economics at the University of International Business and Economics. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So as we know, today marks the busiest travel day ahead of the Chinese New Year. About 1.7 billion trips expected. Now, that's up 10% from 2020, but down 40% from 2019, obviously due to COVID travel restrictions. How are people choosing to travel this year, and how much could they spend?
Well, the passenger traffic is coming down, in great numbers. The statistics I've seen is that, it's going to be reduction of in the range of 60–70%. That's a significant decrease. But I think people are coping with it. China is very unique in that usually company unions play a role in helping with families to happily pass through this time. There are also party organizations and other social organizations trying to pitch in, organize events, make things interesting, happy for people who stay here. So overall, I think it's okay. I think people got to get used to it. I think previously the thought of not spending the Spring Festival with your parents is probably unthinkable. But now people are getting used to it. I think it's okay. Life as usual. Many measures are put in place. So I think it's going to be okay. Other than I think the airline industry, the railway companies are suffering. They've been suffering ever since the coronavirus broke out, and they're still suffering.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
So then what are some of these airlines and travel companies trying to offer to encourage travelers?
Of course, they're decreasing prices. The railway ticket price is being fixed. You can't change that. It's usually maintained, regulated by the relevant authorities. But airlines have the leeway to decrease prices. And this price discount is incredible. We're talking about 70–80% discount at this point. I'll give you one example. If I fly back home to Shanghai to stay with my parents, the normal ticket would be about like 1,000 yuan. That's about $150, $200. But now I'm seeing ticket of $50. So it's a great price reduction, great price discount. You can see these airline companies are really suffering, but what can they do? I mean, every airline company in the world is facing a problem like this right now.
And obviously a lot of companies trying to make employees feel comfortable right where they are if they're not able to travel because of the restrictions. How are companies really either incentivizing or encouraging their employees to stay put instead of returning home?
Yeah, well, usually for the manufacturing companies, typically during the spring break, the company pretty much shut down for a period of 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks, and after the spring break, you wait for the migrant workers, the manufacturing workers to come back. Now this breakdown period looks like it's going away for some companies. Operation is as usual. Company employees are still working. Of course, these people get incentivized by higher pay or one-time lump sum payment. Companies also typically organize a year-end event. This is actually a tradition in China. Companies organize a very large event, quite I would say sumptuous event to have a feast, to organize some celebration events, to issue gifts to employees. So hopefully these activities would incentivize employees to not to go back home and keep life as usual.
And what does having more workers not traveling do for local economies?
You mean in terms of the impact on the local economy?
Yes.
Yeah, I think life is a lot normal. Previously at this time of the year in Beijing, for example, the city is pretty much hollowed out. I mean, there's about 1/3 to half of the city population are just gone for a period of 2 weeks. But now I see Beijing not as hollowed out as it used to be. Traffic is still pretty normal on the streets. You see people shopping in shopping malls and dining out in restaurants. Things are pretty normal. I think it's kind of people are changing their mindset to adjust to the fact that I think moving forward, even this is going to be a structural change. That the Spring Festival time is not such much of a big event anymore. Life is going to be more normal moving forward, I think.
And just quickly, how are people shopping for the holiday in different regions, and what are they buying?
Typically, they buy a lot of food. This is a time to eat a lot and dine wine a lot. And also I guess mostly for women and children, they shop a lot. The malls are open. I would expect to see that the holiday season merchandise sales will be going up. People are doing also doing a lot of online shopping as well. In the past, you see a lot of people traveling for tourism reasons, but now I think this is gone.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much. John Gong, there, Professor of Economics at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing.